Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 15, chapter entitled The Killing of Denuka, the Ass Demon, text 9. So text 9 has no purport, so I will chant this verse and read the translation. Shri Sukha Uvacha Evam Vrindavanam Srimad Krishna Pritamana Pashun Reme Sancharayan Adreha Saritrodashu Sanugaha. Translation. Sukadeva Goswami said, thus expressing his satisfaction with the beautiful forest of Vrindavana and its inhabitants, Lord Krishna enjoyed tending the cows and other animals with his friends on the banks of the river Yamuna below Govardhana hill. So text 10, 11, 12. I will also read. Kvachit Gayati Gayatsu Madandalishva Anuvrataihi Upagiyamana Charitaha Pati Shankarshanavitaha Anujalpati Jalpantam Kalavakyai Shukam Kvachit Savalku Kujantam Anukujati Kokilam Kvachitchakala Hamsanam Anukujati Kujitam Abhinrutyati Nrityantam Varhinam Hasayan Kvachit. Okay, this last verse we will chant together. So please repeat. Megha Gambhiraya Vacha Namabihi Dhuragan Pashun Kvachit Ahvayati Pritya Gopala Manahnyaya Meghagambhiraya Vacha Meghagambhiraya Vacha Namabhirdhuragan Pashu Namabhirdhuragan Pashu Kvachit Ahvayati Pritya Kvachit Ahvayati Pritya Gopalamanoknyaya Gopalamanoknyaya Meghagambhirya Vacha Namabhirdhuragan Pashu Kvachit Ahvayati Pritya Gopalamanoknyaya. Mataji's? Megha, like clouds. Gambhiraya, grave. Vacha, with his voice. Namabihi, by name. Duragan, who had strayed far away. Pashun, the animals. Kochit, sometimes. Hahvayati, he calls. Pritya, affectionately. Go to the cows. O Bala, and the coward boys. Managnaya, which voice charms the mind. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Sometimes the honeybees in Vrindavan become so mad with ecstasy that they closed their eyes and began to sing. Lord Krishna, moving along the forest path with his coward boyfriends and Baladeva, would then respond to the bees by imitating their singing while his friends sang about his pastimes. Sometimes Lord Krishna would imitate the chattering of a parrot, sometimes with a sweet voice, the call of a cuckoo, and sometimes the cooing of swans. Sometimes he vigorously imitated the dancing of a peacock, making his coward boyfriends laugh. Sometimes with a voice as deep as the rumbling of clouds, he would call out with a great affection the names of the animals who had wandered far from the herd, thus enchanting the cows and the coward boys. Purport. Srila Sanatana Goswami explains that Lord Krishna would joke with his friend saying, "Just look, this peacock does not know how to dance properly," whereupon the Lord would vigorously imitate the peacock's dancing, causing great laughter among his friends. The bees in Vrindavana would drink the sap of the forest flowers, and the combination of his nectar and the association of Sri Krishna made them mad with intoxication. Thus they closed their eyes in ecstasy and expressed their satisfaction by humming, and this humming was also expertly imitated by the Lord. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalankaya Chakshurunmilitam Yen Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mokom Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langaite Girimitkripaatam Maham Vande Shri Gurum Deenadaranam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vigasa Swami Namini. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Name Namaste Saraswate Devin Gauravani Pracharini Nirvashesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. मेघगम्भीरया वाचा नामभिर्दूरगान् पशून् क्वचित् आह्वयति प्रीत्या गोपाल मनोज्ञया. Sometimes the honeybees in Vrindavan become so mad with ecstasy that they closed their eyes and began to sing. Krishna, moving along the forest path with his coward boyfriends and Baladeva, would then respond to the bees by imitating their singing while his friends sang about his pastimes. Sometimes Lord Krishna would imitate the chattering of a parrot, sometimes with a sweet voice, the call of a cuckoo, and sometimes the cooing of the swans. Sometimes he vigorously imitated the dancing of a peacock, making his coward boyfriends laugh. Sometimes with a voice as deep as the rumbling of clouds, he would call out with great affection the names of the animals who had wandered far from the herd, thus enchanting the cows and the coward boys. So, in a similar context, where Krishna would call the names of animals, when they go far. So the last point in translation. So Krishna would call them So in a similar context, I think in some other verse somewhere we discussed, one of the Acharya explained that, so Krishna is called as Govinda, tending cows. So similarly, go also means senses. So when a devotee or devotee senses go far astray from Krishna consciousness, so Krishna will make some arrangement that through which the devotee or his senses will come back to Krishna consciousness. So that kind of understanding is also there. And we can see this is how traditionally, village place were there. We were all brought up in cities. Uh, we never saw these things. We were brought up with computers, laptops, video games, computer games, and more. What to speak of modern times? All these virtual games, AI, and all these sort of things. So more and more people, they call it virtual reality. It means more far from the reality. People play with the nature, with animals, or these kinds of things, physical things. So, but now we can see these kinds of games had practical effects. People learn many things. They start relating with different people and animals and nature, and even the so-called unconscious things were treated as a conscious beings. For example, the rivers, we understand they are also living entities, mountains. So all these things were consciously respected and related. Everything has its science. So, but now in video games and all, you can see computers, video games. They call it customized. Everything is personalized. If I switch on my chat GPT, it says Hare Krishna Srinivas, good morning. So we become impersonal with these phones and technologies, but it looks like it's personalized and customized. But actually we become very impersonalist with these things. So these were the tradition, and you can see the modern people, they all become so dull, and all these things ultimately make them dull, and physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So all these modern gadgets, modern video games, and the youngsters, they play virtual reality games. So everything make them so dull. They don't relate to nature. They don't relate to other people. So on the contrary, we see how in spiritual world even these dull objects are treated as a conscious beings. So this is the contradictory thing. So in Vrindavan we learn every step is a dance, every word is a song, and now Krishna is playing, and there is singing and dancing. So imagine if a word is a song and a step is a dance, and how the singing and dancing will be. So this is what is Vrindavan all about: joy and happy play. So nowadays, people, there is that famous after COVID, what is that? Work from home is a common terminology. So nobody likes to work from home, and for us, for some devotees, home is Vrindavan. So they shifted their house to Vrindavan and they started working from there. It's a different understanding. So these things, that the online games, virtual reality, and this how Krishna is playing here. So these explanations. So Srila Prabhupada gave us this ISKCON, which is Vaikunta or Goloka. Srila Prabhupada, we used to call him as an ambassador of Vaikunta, spiritual world. So ambassador establishes embassy, in different places. So Srila Prabhupada did that. So all of this ISKCON is actually non-different from Vaikunta. If you see an embassy, if you go to Chennai, there is an American embassy. So what does it mean? So that part of land in Chennai is actually equivalent to America. It's like small America in Chennai. So the laws within the embassy works differently. The government, Indian laws doesn't work in the Chennai American embassy. So the settings over there will remind us of America. So like that. So Srila Prabhupada established these embassies, Vaikunta embassy. So everything reminds us of Vaikunta or Goloka. And the laws here, therefore Prabhupada said, material laws cannot affect a devotee. Uh, so technically, if we are living in ISKCON, then the material laws should not disturb us. Are we not disturbed by material laws? So we have to check to what extent we are not affected by material pangs, material sufferings. So if we are really living in ISKCON, that means we should not get affected by material laws. So like this, there are so many comparisons we can give. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us this, Srila Prabhupada, following the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, gave us this such amazing settings. Anarpita charim chirad karunaya vatirna kalau samarpayutam unadajvala subhakti shriyam haripurata sundara dviti kadamba sandipita sada hridaya kandare spuratva sachinandana. So the highest rasa, which is madhurya, so he gave this highest form of devotion, worshipping Krishna in the mood of gopis. So such an amazing joy, just by singing and dancing. The process is so blissful, the destination is blissful. So and he gave the highest benediction to the lowest of the low, to the most fallen condition people of Kali Yuga. And not only that, the process is not just easy, it's also blissfully performed. Susukam kartum avyayam. And guaranteed. Surety, 100% guarantee. So easiest process, highest result for the fallen people, and blissful process and guaranteed process. So we just, in the previous verse, we just saw the discussion. So how Lakshmi was trying to take part in Rasa Leela, but she was not admitted. And what Lakshmi could not attain, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is easily giving to all of us. Lakshmi, of course, there is Tattva Vichar and Rasa Vichar, so we should understand that. Not that we are better than Lakshmi. So sometimes while giving lecture, we explain Goloka is far higher than Vaikunta, and devotees, when they do Vidhi Bhakti, they just go to Vaikunta. They just go to Vaikunta. We speak as if we understand as if Vaikunta is our neighbor next door, and we don't. We are more qualified. So it's not like that. But then we understand the philosophy that what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave is far, far superior than what all other acharyas have given. So what Lakshmi Devi, she could not enter into Rasa Leela. That's what we saw from the previous verse. So in spite of the fact that she was performing great austerities, still she is performing austerities. Mukundatta Prabhu gave in his lecture that Bel 1. So is one of the Vana forest in Vrindavan. So still she is doing austerities there, hoping one day that she will take part in Rasa Leela. And so now there is a temple there, Mukundatta Prabhu was telling, and they offer Kichdi Prasad. So it's austerity. Krishna in Vrindavan is taking so many items, and Lakshmi is eating Kichdi there and wanting to take part in Rasa Leela. So Prabhuji said that still she is wife of Krishna, so Krishna sent devotees to build a temple and give her Kichdi, So, but now we have got this great opportunity. We can take part in such a highest play, highest dance. But we can see from Shastras in 10th canto, 83rd chapter, text 41 and 42. This is, I think, the Dwaraka queens are speaking to Draupadi and other ladies. So, O saintly lady, we do not desire dominion over the earth, the sovereign of the King of Heaven, unlimited facility for enjoyment, mystic power, the position of Lord Brahma, immortality, or even attainment of the kingdom of God. We simply desire to carry on our heads the glorious dust of Lord Krishna's feet, enriched by the fragrance of kunkuma from his consort's bosom. So in this verse, there is a word Shri, and Acharyas explain this word Shri doesn't refer to Lakshmi. Lord Krishna's queens clearly state that they do not desire any of these powers or even the position of Brahma, liberation or entrance into the kingdom of God. They simply want the dust from Sri Krishna's feet, which Goddess Shri herself worships. So Sri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur tells us that the goddess of fortune mentioned here is not Lakshmi, the consort of Narayana. After all, the Acharyas explains, Goddess Lakshmi could not attain the direct association of Krishna even after performing extended austerities, as Uddhava states, Nayam Shriyo Angu. So verse 10.47.60. Rather, the Shri referred to here refers to gopis, as mentioned in Brihad Gautamiya Tantra. Devi Krishna Mayi Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mayi Sarva Kanti Sammohina Para. The transcendental goddess Srimati Radharani is a direct counterpart of Lord Sri Krishna. She is the central figure of all the goddess of fortune. She possesses all the attractiveness to attract all attractive personality of goddess. She is primeval internal potency of the Lord. So she is called as Adi Lakshmi. So also there's a famous shloka by Uddhava where he said, when Lord Sri Krishna was dancing with the gopis in Rasa Leela, the gopis were embraced by the arms of the Lord. This transcendental favor was never bestowed upon goddess of fortune or other consorts in the spiritual world. Indeed, never was such a thing even imagined by the most beautiful girls in the heavenly planets. So we can see how what was not possible by Lakshmi, we are given opportunity. So, but we should understand our current position. We should not become sahajiyas and we think that we are so elevated. So, although we are given the highest path and the path is easy, still we see practically in Kanishta level, most of the devotees, still we are struggling with Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Matsarya. All these lower qualities. So in our level, although these things are given, but we should understand we are still in a very beginning stages. You should not imitate these things. So we can see the highest form of bhakti is performed by gopis. Why? Because they had to, oppose all the moral things. They were brought up in a culture family. So imagine they are pure devotees, but they have to go against so-called morality. They have to go against their parents, their husbands, and their duties, the so-called lower dharmas. So all these things they have to oppose. Whereas that may not be the case with gopas or other devotees, for example, Yashoda. They have no such obstacles. But these gopis, they have to, meet all these problems and they have to transgress these lower laws. So they get ill names. So they have to tolerate all this. So like this, therefore, the gopis are understood to be the topmost devotees because they have sacrificed all their things for the sake of serving Lord. And similar thing we can see from the prayers of Nagapatnis. O Lord, we do not know how the serpent Kaliya has attained this great opportunity of being touched by the dust of your lotus feet. For this end, the goddess of fortune performed austerities for centuries, giving up all other desires and taking austere vows. So what Kaliya got, so Lakshmi could not get. That's what Nagapatnis are telling. So why then Chaitanya Charitamrita, we know there is a famous conversations between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Venkata Bhatta. So it was very informal discussion. So again, as we say, Tattva Vichar and Rasa Vichar. So joking, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Venkata Bhatta, why your Lakshmi desired to dance with Krishna? Is it not wrong? Hmm. So is it not wrong in your part? And Venkata Bhatta says, I don't see anything wrong because there is no different from Lakshmi and Krishna. Sorry, Narayan and Krishna. So what is wrong? So yeah, there is no difference, but why she was not allowed? She wanted to dance, but she was not allowed. So why? So then Venkata Bhatta said, so I think these are all esoteric things. You are Supreme Lord, and this is far from my understanding. So please, Lord, you explain these things. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of course, encouraged him, and he said, no, they are same, but then rasa is different, and in that way Krishna is superior, and Venkata Bhatta accepted it. So Acharyas explained that Vedas personified, we knew that they also wanted to dance with Krishna. So they followed the footsteps of gopis, and by following the footsteps of gopis, they acquired bodies similar to gopis, and they were allowed entrance in Rasa Leela. Whereas Lakshmi, she did not follow the footsteps of gopis. This is what Chaitanya Charitamrita says. So she was in Aishwarya Bhava. Lakshmi means Aishwarya Bhava. So with that Aishwarya Bhava, one cannot have access in Vrindavan. So Vrindavan is pure Madhurya. So there is no Aishwarya Bhava. There is no awe and reverence. So with that bhav, it's not possible to get entry into Vrindavan. So therefore, unless we follow the footsteps of gopis, it is not possible. Lamya Kachidupasana also, this famous verse. So by following the footsteps of gopis, only then we can attain Vrindavan. And there is another famous shloka is quoted, Nayam Shukhapo Bhagavan. So this verse also says that except by following gopis' footsteps, except by acquiring a body similar to theirs, it's not possible to gain entrance in Vrindavan. So the whole discussion, went between Venkata Bhatta and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So and then on the opposite way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, so we also know the famous pastime, once among gopis, Krishna manifested the form of Narayan. So we can see gopis were not interested in the form of Narayan. So they were asking him, where is Krishna? And here, contrary, Lakshmi, who is with Narayan, wanted to go and associate with Krishna, like gopis. And to the contrary, the gopis who are with Krishna, when Krishna showed Narayan form, they were not interested. So this also shows very clearly that Krishna's form is superior to that of Narayan. So recently, after Vyas Puja, all of brahmacharis, we went to Tirumala for Balaji Darshan, and we had fortune of witnessing one festival there that's called Pranaya Kalahotsava. So right in the Mada street, the 4 Mada streets next to Balaji temple, around Balaji temple. So the Utsav deities of Balaji is brought, and Utsav deities of Sri Devi and Bhudevi were brought, and they were kept in opposite pandals. So Pranaya Kalahotsava means it's a fight, joking fight. So Lord is coming back from Rasa Leela, and the queens, the wives, are not allowing him entrance. So, and there's a fight, and we have seen this in Bhagavatam, and it also happens in various temples, various festivals. In Tamil Nadu, this festival is called as Sattai Adi. Sattai means whip. Lord gets whipped with Sattai, So, and one Vaishnava was there near us, and fortunately we had his association, and he gave us elaboration. Conversation happens in Sanskrit and pure Tamil, so we could, he was translating us, and we were, so it's amazing fight. So balls, flower balls were there, and that will be thrown. Lakshmi will throw on Balaji, and Balaji will throw it. Throw it back means Balaji will request, please accept me, and they will not accept, and they will throw back. It was amazing. So, and ultimately, Ramanujacharya had to come and solve the issue. So then Ramanuja had to go and request Lakshmi that, he's good person, please accept him. So at last, because Ramanuja said, Lakshmi said that I'll accept you. So these kind of things. Also, there is Aishwarya Bhav. We can see there's a playful discussions. So when you see the chapters in Chaitanya Charitamrita in relation during Ratha Yatra chapters, so we know Jagannath leaves Lakshmi and goes to Gundija to meet Vrindavan devotees. All esoteric meanings are there, and there is a festival called Hera Panchami. So where Lord Jagannath leaves Lakshmi saying that I'll come back soon, but it's getting delayed. So in 4th or 5th day, so Lakshmi becomes angry that Jagannath is not coming back. So Lakshmi sends her bodyguards to beat Jagannath's servants, and to make Jagannath come back. And then even now this pastime is enacted, and Jagannath servants will be beaten by Lakshmi's servants. All these things happens there, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates witnessing these pastimes, and then there will be amazing discussion. So if a wife becomes angry on husband, what kind of reaction? Seeing here, Lakshmi is beating. This kind of reaction, what is this? So they are amazed by such expressions and anger and reactions, and then they are analyzing how different women react. So a village woman, when she gets angry, she will bow her head down, and with her toe she will scratch the floor. She will not respond to the husband. And this is how a village simple woman will respond to if she is angry on the husband. And now here Lakshmi is beating, and like this they are analyzing how different women respond to the angry of the husbands. And then through such discussions also they establish how gopis are superior to Lakshmi, and how Krishna is superior than Narayana. So it's very interesting to read those parts. So now here we are in Tamil Nadu. There is 33,000 traditional temples, but there is not even one Radha Krishna temple. So this, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. In North India, Radha Krishna's worship is famous, but here Lakshmi Narayan's worship is what predominantly known to people. Lakshmi Narayana, because Ramanuja was preaching here, Madhva was preaching here. So of course Madhva was established Krishna deity in Udupi, but still Radha Krishna worship is not there. Rather, this is the first stone temple you can say in Tamil Nadu, which is going to establish Radha Krishna and gopis, worship of devotion of gopis towards Krishna. So yes, ISKCON temple says, but I am telling about the traditional temples. But this is the first stone temple, you can say. So please help us to build this temple. You can contact me if you have any means. So Srila Prabhupada gave this amazing establishment, ISKCON, I was telling, ambassador. So embassies, you can see during war times, during the previous Trump administration, when there was tensions between China and America, escalating fear and war, all kinds of tensions were there. So this America withdraw all his consulates and ambassador from China. When there is war time, then they don't want to keep their any time with any nations. This happens. So basically, why an embassy is established is, there are many reasons. One is to give, like in Chennai there is American embassy. So American citizens, when they come to India, they can seek the embassy's help. So in case of any emergency, things like that. So now here, Srila Prabhupada, being an ambassador of Vaikuntha, establishing uh, the spiritual embassies in all parts of this material world. So there is war-like situation always. Prabhupada said spiritual life means war against Maya. So there is war always between evil and holy, between demons and devotees. So there's always war, but we can see nevertheless Krishna is so merciful and devotees are so merciful, they take the risk and they come to protect, to save the conditioned souls. So Krishna doesn't withdraw all his servants. So they take all risk, like Srila Prabhupada, we can see from his life story how much risk he has taken, how much hard struggles he had to undergo to establish this. It's not joke. Like for that matter, any acharya, any devotees, lots of struggles they undergo to preach Krishna consciousness, to establish spiritual movements, organization, and to make it run. It's not easy. It's not cakewalk. So much of difficulties they have to undergo to give us this facility. Such a nice facility. Shravanam, Kirtanam, singing, dancing, service, is nectar for all our senses. And still, we are so unfortunate that we don't take advantage of all the facilities given by our acharyas. They have taken all struggles to give us, but sometimes due to our conditioning nature, we don't take advantage of these facilities. So let's think about this, and we hope we take advantage, and then we utilize the facility and we become devotees, pure devotees. On the contrary, sometimes we can see devotees. Now we can see in Kumbh Mela, crores of people are gathering there to take a holy dip. Some 50 people died, and in Tirupati during Vaikuntha Ekadashi tickets distribution, some 8 people died. I think in local colloquial language, if somebody died, they say ticket wangita. Ticket wangita means right? They tell right? Ticket wangita means he got ticket to. So they want to go into the Vaikuntha Dwara to enter Vaikuntha, but to get ticket for that entrance, of course they died in spiritual world. I mean, Tirupati, definitely they are more fortune, but I think there is better means to get to Vaikuntha. So it's not just by entering into the Vaikuntha Dwara one will achieve Vaikuntha by in itself. Okay, definitely, maybe some shastric injunctions are there, maybe. So, but then after passing through Vaikuntha Dwara, we should follow Krishna's instruction. If we again neglect Krishna's instruction and commit sinful activities, then how we are going to get benefited? Will Krishna accept us? No. So with all difficulties, they go to these pilgrimages, spending thousands of rupees, crores of rupees, taking such austerity. It's so cold there. People kill each other. They don't get accommodation. They have to walk so many miles. They get sick. So crores of people are going there for a holy dip, but they don't hear about Krishna. Bhagavatam says, "Tirtha buddhi salilena karhichit." Sayev Gokara. If we don't lend our ears to hear from sadhus the Srimad Bhagavatam, such a holy dip is compared, even animals take dip. So it's compared. So not that we are discouraging traveling to holy places, but if it is not accompanied with hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and service and chanting, and such process will not give us the desired result, the expected result. We may get some punya, definitely, but if we want 100% result, but same facility is given so easily here. Balaji Darshan, hours together we have to stand in line and all austerities, but here Gauranita is there, Radha Krishna is there, you can dance, we can see all these temples, long queues and momentary darshan only you can have, but ISKCON temples are built, thousands of people can join and dance together and always take darshan. So such a easy process, nice process, and we think no, going there with all difficulties only uh, will give us benefit. But here, nobody is coming. So we should have proper understanding. So Guru Maharaj said in one lecture, so devotees who stay outside the Vaikuntha Dwara and distributing Prabhupada books, they will go back home, back to Godhead. So service is important, And Shravan comes, Srila Prabhupada gave these books, every day reading his books and doing the sadhana, rising early, giving up our material desires, hearing to the advice of our seniors. So all these things are very important. So Prabhupada has given all this amazing community, amazing devotees, amazing facilities. So we should take advantage. So these things we should understand. It's not just by going such far places. Almost you can see while going Balaji Darshan, it's almost like QR codes. They call that how you call that Vaikuntha Q complex. So that jail, not jail, cell they call it. So they put there for hours together. So and it's almost like immigration process. You go to airport, you have all these scanning systems, ticket systems. So Vaikuntha Q complex. So you can go to Vaikuntha definitely by taking Balaji's darshan, but a very easy process is given here. So ultimately we have to follow these rules anyway. So take darshan, but we have to read Prabhupada books, distribute Prabhupada books, and do some service to the best of our capacity. So then, by their grace, we may get back to Godhead. So Hare Krishna, thank you very much. So any questions, any comments, mistakes? Prabhuji. Spontaneous devotion. So question is that by following the Vidhi Bhakti, how to understand that one day we will attain that spontaneous Raganuga Bhakti. So rules and regulations is what obstructing that. So how by following rules and regulations we'll achieve spontaneous devotion. Correct? So that's the whole point, that we cannot imitate, we should not imitate, we cannot imitate, and imitating so will be a disaster. We can see there are upper sampradayas who imitate so-called spontaneous devotion, and they go nowhere. Rather, they are offensive. So, rules and regulations are given now because currently our spontaneous devotion is towards Maya. Right? We have spontaneous attraction to Maya. So, when this spontaneous devotion, by following rules and regulations, so gradually we will see that a devotee, when he progresses, this spontaneous devotion will drift from Maya to Krishna. So, and then this is the whole process that when you do this Vidhi Bhakti with faith, so these things will be revealed. Spontaneous devotion doesn't mean that these devotees, they don't follow rules and regulations. Spontaneous devotion mean that these devotees, the gopis and other great devotees, mother, father, they follow rules and regulations without force. That's called spontaneous devotion. So rules are there, but just is a question of whether you do it by due to circumstances and pressure, or with a tendency that you have to do. So that will not be there. They do spontaneously. But rules are same. They also follow Vedas. They also follow everything. So I think just I could able to answer, but if anybody could add something. Yes, please. Mantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.